House of Designers Agency is a renowned fashion agency that works with startups and established brands to connect them with buyers, retail, boutique, and as well as, all the other brands that are associated with it. Now, founded by Refiloe Mocwa, who is passionate about giving back to society, especially to young designers who are either new in the fashion industry or who really wish to hone their skills in the arts of fashion designing. She joins us now this morning to share a bit more on opening opportunities for emerging designers. A very good morning to you, Refiloe. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Morning. How are you?
Good. How are you? Good to have you on the show this morning.
Thank you for
All right.
having me.
Now, tell us a bit more about, HODA, what this company is all about and what it seeks to achieve.
So House of Designers, like you said, it's a renowned fashion agency. So essentially what we do is connect retailers to our young fashion designers, because it's becoming like such a challenge for an ordinary designer to be housed into retail. When you look at the stats, I think it's only 20% local fashion designers that are actually in your biggest retail stores. So we're trying to change the narrative. And the goal there is also just to empower emerging fashion designers, because we understand the challenges. So House of Designers literally is a one-stop shop, whereby we not only connect the designers to the retail stores, but we actually help them throughout the process, because we understand that they can be challenged with it's either resources or they don't have the capability. If the resources are there, then the quality is questioned, which is why most of the retail stores in the country would rather prefer working with imported garments. So we try to help them out in those stages.
Okay, just take us through, how you help, the designers and the buyers. I mean, how do you connect them?
So we have like a long database that I've built throughout the years. It's been 10 years in the fashion industry as a professional.
Okay.
So we built up like a very strong database with retailers, buyers and whatnot. So the communication started when I couldn't understand why most of them were not really housing our emerging fashion designers. And you find out that the story is always the same. No, they don't have the capacity, the resources, or the quality is questionable. Then I decided, we cannot allow that to be like a stumbling block or a red tape as to why our emerging designers can't be in stores instead of like the big ones that people really focus on. There's a lot of talent in the streets. There's a lot of underground talent that needs to be exposed, and that's why we're there. True.
And clearly it's not an easy task. I mean, and being in the fashion industry is not an easy one. It's not an easy role. I mean, what are some of the challenges that you encountered that you're hoping emerging designers should not go through?
Sure. In my personal journey, really, it was really getting the brand out there. So getting brand awareness has been the biggest challenge of it all. And also having like built proper relationships that are beneficial. People don't have the right information to the CMT companies that you can use that actually would offer services at a minimum quantity, which is always the challenge. If I'm like a small designer coming from Kasi somewhere, it's difficult for my brand to get like a CMT that is willing to supply at minimum quantities, because then they'll tell you 10,000 units and whatnot. If I'm emerging, that is almost impossible, because then where am I going to take the 10,000 garments afterwards? So those kind of challenges, it's brand visibility, the resources, and also I think just the challenges, the main one would be like getting funding for the designers, because then the talent is there. The store is like, okay, we're ready, we want to take you on. Can you make us 50 units of a certain product? The challenge then becomes the money isn't there for that to happen, fabric sourcing and
Refiloe, what normally happens then if a designer or an emerging designer, sources products, or he doesn't have a market for certain products?
So what we do there, the challenge is always if they're not sourcing the right products, we help them throughout with that as well. From fabric, where you get it, patterns, where to get them done, grading, where to get them done. So we try literally to be like a one-stop shop for that.
Sure. And how is the House of Designers Agency help create sustainable jobs, especially for young emerging designers?
I always say the easiest entrepreneurs to support is always the fashion designers.
Oh, yes.
And it's beautiful because to get them started doesn't really require a lot of capital. scale. It doesn't require a lot of resources as well. So when I'm taking in, let's say, for now, 10 designers, those 10 designers actually hired about 6 other people. Those 6 people are taking care of their family, households, and whatnot. So it's also, and you would find if you check research, in 2019, South African designers contributed 1 billion to the South African economy. So it is a sustainable industry. We just need to be really supporting local designs and local art to make it sustainable.
Yeah. And for the local designers who may need assistance from you, how do they go about reaching you?
So they can reach me on our website. We have a website. It's www.hoda.co.za.
Right.
And they can email us at info@hoda.co.za.
Okay.
And they can find us on our socials as well.
Great stuff. Great job. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we just spoke to Refiloe Mocwa, the founder of House of Designers Agency, on efforts to see change in the fashion industry.